What you believe will dictate your thoughts on a moment-by-moment basis. So if you believe that money is hard to make, as a simple example, you're not going to have ideas or thoughts around money that would be lending to making it easily, right? And so what you believe dictates what you think. You can't get like an apple from an orange tree. And what you think you then experience is an emotion, right? And then that emotion then dictates what actions you do or do not take. And they're always aligned, right? Your beliefs dictate your thoughts, dictate your emotions, dictate your actions, which produce your results. And your results, when you look at them, then just reinforce the original belief. And so we're caught in that construct, right? But the linchpin is the belief system. So the question is, how do I actually change what I believe? If my beliefs really do dictate my destiny, right? Which is, I'm not the only person suggesting that. The question becomes, how do I change my beliefs? And in that is an inherent challenge, because by definition, beliefs are that which are true, right, for us. And so then the question is, how do we break out of this? My way of breaking out of it was at one point to understand, and I'll start to kind of walk you through the structure of it, to understand that there were only two states of emotional beingness that I could be in at any given point in time. I would either be in a powerful state of being, states like joy, curiosity, excitement, calm, peace, passion, or I would be in a primal state of being, boredom, anger, frustration, some form of fear. I'm always in one of those two states, and I'm never in two states at one time. Now, those map beautifully to the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, right? So in any moment, we're either in fight or flight or we're in rest and relaxation. Through my journey, what I realized was the only cause of that switch to be flipped was my own thinking. The meaning that I was giving the experience. The experience itself wasn't dictating whether I was in a primal state or a powerful state, whether I was in sympathetic fight or flight or parasympathetic rest and restoration or relaxation. It was the meaning I was giving the experience. And so that meant that all of my personal suffering was within my own control. I needed to start controlling the meaning I was giving the experiences of life. As we started doing this work early, I didn't see this initially in the work that I was doing with myself, but as we started building a team of coaches and as the coaches were coaching people, what we consistently saw was that the quality of the thinking that was causing people to move into a primal state, which was really the only problem. Because when you're in a powerful state, you're connected to creativity, to inspiration, to vitality, to energy. Health automatically operates. Everything that we want is in a powerful state of being. When you're in a primal state, you don't have access to any of that. So when entrepreneurs say to me, for example, what's the number one thing you would suggest to grow my business? I would say notice by moment what state of being you're in, and use whatever tools or technologies you have access to move back into a powerful state. That's where things just unfold. And I'm not saying you don't have to take consistent action and work your ass off to create success, but you do it from a powerful state. It's very hard to do it from a primal state. And what we were seeing consistently was that the quality of thinking that was causing people to move into a primal state, when we really looked at it and worked with them around it, was that 100% of the time it was untrue. The only cause,
the thing they were thinking
was untrue.
I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough.
I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. There's not enough time. Now we can start to talk about the larger metaphysical philosophy behind all of this, right? But I'll give you a prime example. I was working, personally coaching a 29-year-old Egyptian Muslim young man, super successful, had his first multi-million-dollar business at 19 years old, was running one of the largest companies in his category at 29 years old. And I'd been coaching him, and he was out one night in South Beach with a bunch of movers and shakers. And vice president of the sports team, #1 DJ, fashion designers, whatever it was, he called me the next day and he said, listen, I moved into a primal state last night and I couldn't get out of it, so I need you to coach me on it. Because I know his vision for his life now, the most important thing for him is to operate from a powerful state of being. I said, okay, so what happened? He said, well, I was there and I noticed that I started having anxiety. So I know I moved into a primal state. I said, what'd you do next? He said, I took a look at the thinking that was causing it. I said, what did you find? He said, I was thinking that I don't belong here. I was like, okay, got it. So then what did you do? And what we teach a couple of things, but what we teach at the highest level of this work is that you're able to actually see the thinking that's not true as not true. And that's different than a lot of the other modalities I tried to use to evolve. You can change your state, you can reframe something, you can come up with a better story. There are amazing tools out there like breath work, plant tech. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff out there which we can get into,
Plant
right?
tech.
Yeah.
That's nice, I like that.
There's a bunch of stuff out there, right? But we're very focused on the personal technology, not the third-party tools, right? But I've explored a lot of them. So what we believe is the fastest way for you to eradicate a limiting belief is to actually see the limiting belief as untrue. And the moment that happens, there's a reorganization in your brain, like you can't unsee it. Once you see the lie as a lie, right, there's a huge shift. It reorients you to the experiences of your life. It reorients you, to money, to relationships. So I said to him, so what happened when you saw that you were thinking, I don't belong here? And he says, it seemed true. He goes, now I knew it wasn't, because he bought into what we teach. And I said, okay, great, so I'll coach you on it. You know, with coaching, you have a lot of leverage. And you don't always have to use the leverage I'm gonna give you an example of, but I knew he was a spiritual. His faith was very important to him. So I said, let me ask you a question. You believe in God, don't you? He said, yes. I said, the omnipotent, omniscient, kind of all-knowing type of God? He goes, absolutely. And I said, then how did your God put you in the wrong place on Friday night where you actually don't belong? And there was a pause. And I heard him on the other end of the line, and he goes, oh my God. And I said, what is it? He goes, I belong everywhere I am. That's a fundamental reorientation to the experiences of your life. And what I believe is that's the deepest, most permanent, fastest way to actually move through the crazy unreality that we've created for ourselves as a result of adopting a bunch of other crazy people's beliefs when we were kids, right? To start reconnecting with what's really true. And so in that moment of seeing that you actually belong everywhere that you are, you move back into a powerful state, and now you're moving forward with your life in a powerful way.